Hey buddy, it's Crazy Good Time 4 and welcome back to some more Super Smash Bros. Brawl. In the last episode, we went through classic mode with the pink puffball and the main character of the Kirby series, Kirby. In this episode, we'll be going through classic mode as the next Kirby fighter, I guess. Meta Knight, probably one of my favorite characters in this game, if I will say so myself, and one of my favorite characters in just all of Kirby. He's really good. He's a really fun character. Really just overall good character. Anyways, let's check out Meta Knight's palette swap. So we got the regular palette swap here. We got a white Meta Knight, a red Meta Knight, green. This is green? It's a green, yeah, it's a type of green. It's a weird kind of green, but it's a green. Then we got Dark Meta Knight, as I like to say. It's not really the Dark Meta Knight from the Kirby series, but it's a dark palette swap, so it makes sense. And then a Pink Meta Knight, which is probably a reference to Galactic Knight, if anything. That would make a lot of sense. Don't see what else it would be a reference to. So yeah, with that, let's get right into it. So Meta Knight's good. He was unveiled at E3 2006, and that's, you know, opening, you know, thing to, when it's like, hey, Brawl's a game now. He's commonly abbreviated as MK. He's a character in Brawl, originally from the Kirby universe. Meta Knight joins the Brawl as a starter newcomer who wields a sword Galaxia. Dang, 3 stickers, nice. Who wields a sword Galaxia as his primary weapon. Meta Knight is voiced by Eric Newsom in the English version and by Atsushi Kisaichi, reprising his role from the Kirby Red Pikachu anime in the Japanese version. So yeah, we got another character, 2 voice actors, which makes sense because, you know, Meta Knight is yet another verbal character, just another very like verbal and vocal character like Zero Suit is. But Meta Knight, before we actually like, you know, talk about his moves and whatnot, Meta Knight is you know, in some ways he's known as the best character in the entire game, mainly in terms of competitiveness and how good he is in competitive play. He literally has his own tier. He's number 1 on the tier list, and he has his own tier, SS tier. Like, that's how good he freaking is. If you have your own stinking tier, like, that's insane. He has way too. He's just an overall really good character, and a lot of people tend to play him in competitive. I like playing him in competitive. He's not one of my mains, but he's still really fun to play. He's like my pocket character, if anything. Yeah, Meta Knight's just good. He has like basically no disadvantages. I mean, he's a light character, which, you know, means he can get knocked out pretty easily. But like, just with how Meta Knight works, it's kind of difficult to actually, like, you know, remotely knock him out. So yeah, well, I mean, if you're fighting against a good Meta Knight, you're probably not gonna you're probably gonna have a lot of trouble, you know, killing them. Unless you're a really quick character like Fox or Zero Suit, who apparently Fox and Zero Suit have a lot of are actually 2 really good counters against Meta Knights. Even Marth apparently really good counter against Meta Knights. So yeah, that's Meta Knight. Oh, that's a little bit of thing about Meta Knight. Am I gonna get the top target? I did. Awesome. Did not expect that. For anything, let's actually check it out. Before we actually check out his special move, sorry. Let me finish this up. Oh, and one more thing. Because of how good Meta Knight is in competitive play, he's pretty broken, as, you know. Meta Knight Ditto, let's freaking go. This is awesome. He's, you know, because of how, you know, broken he is, as stated by the Smash community, he tends to be banned from a lot of from a lot of tournaments. A lot of tournaments tend to ban Meta Knight just because of how stinking good he is, which makes sense. I understand it. I mean, whenever we have a Brawl tournament, we're definitely not gonna, you know, ban Meta Knight just because. Just wouldn't be fair. Plus, I'm gonna be like the only character playing Meta Knight anyway. The only person playing Meta Knight anyways, besides like Zach. And that's just only gonna be for fun. Yeah, I personally wouldn't ban him if I were to make a tournament. But anyways, let's go ahead and check out Meta Knight's moveset, Meta Knight's special moves. Pretty, like, even his special moves are just overall really stinking good. So first off, we got his neutral special, which is Mock Tornado. If you press the button, if you press, well, the main concept is that he spins around, making a bit of a tornado around him, and he can actually trap opponents in that tornado. If you keep pressing the B button, then he does it for longer and can actually, you know, rise up a little bit. Another cool thing about it is that if you know, control it with a control stick, you can actually move around quite a bit. And it's really good for, you know, recovering as well. So, yeah, one special move, which is already absolutely insane. And that does 1% for the multiple hits, and then 3% for the last hit. Then we got his side special, which is Drill Rush, where Meta Knight kind of turns into a drill and just rushes forward. Simple as that. Does a little bit of hits, does a few hits. I believe if you hold back afterwards, then Meta Knight... I'm pretty sure, like... Wow, okay. If you hold back, sometimes it works. If you hold at... Okay. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Pretty sure you have to, like, actually attack someone. Let me see. Let me try this again. Okay, no. Okay, sometimes, like, you can actually, like, jump out of it when Meta Knight finishes the attack, but it doesn't seem like that's working. Also, you can angle it. You can actually go up a bit. Oh, there he go. He jumps out when he goes up, and he also can go down. And it's also pretty good for recovering. Like, look at this. Ooh, man, that was actually really close. Oh, in the air, apparently, he jumps out of it. Okay, so I gotcha. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. It's he becomes helpless after the move, which would make a lot of sense. But it's probably like another one of like his really stinking good moves. Probably one of his best in competitive. It's not used as much in competitive as, like, you know, Mach Tornado, for example, but it's still used quite a bit. Quite a bit. Apparently, it's possible to cancel the ending lag of the move by ledge canceling the finishing hits, which I believe is just like, you know, canceling the last hits. By, like, you know, literally snapping onto the ledge right before the last hit happens. And then, you know, with that, if you actually, you know, get good at that, the move's basically lagless. So it's it's a little insane if you ask me. It is a little insane. So it's really good for just like fighting in general and for like rushing opponents. And so that does 1% for hits 1 through 9, and then 2% for 2 to 3%. Sorry, ooh, Mario, for hit number 10. Then we got his up special, probably his best move by far. Well, one of his best moves by far. And that is Shuttle Loop, where Meta Knight, if you do it, Meta Knight does a loop and then starts gliding. You can move it up and down and continuously just like continue flying as long as you like keep a good, you know, trajectory going. And also it can be used to kill, kind of like that. Oh my freaking gosh. Yeah, he jumps into the air, sword pointed upwards, and then goes into a loop, glides forward with his blade extended. Has a lot of good knockback, especially when you use it on the ground. Because he doesn't just like do a clean swoop like that. He kind of like, it's more like forceful, if anything. And it's definitely more powerful when done on the ground, 100%. And oh yeah, another thing about it, during the move, you can actually just go ahead. If I can show it off, you can actually slice out of it. Do like a, if you press I think if you press any attack button, then he kind of slices out of it. Does it? Okay, no. It's whenever you press, if you press the regular attack button after, you know, after doing, while he's doing his glide, then he attacks out of it. If you press B, he cancels out of it, and I think also if you press the jump button, on like a game controller or a classic controller, then you can, and I'm not talking about tap jump, I'm talking about the actual jump button. Then he cancels out of it, and it's like you can basically just do anything right afterwards. If you were to do this and to just like let him cancel the move by, you know, doing the slice at the end, then he does go into a little bit of like, you know, help. He goes into a bit of a helpless state afterwards. So I mean, if anything, probably just do it a glide and then like get close to the ground and then press like your jump button, or even B I think works really well. Which if you're not playing with a classic controller or a game controller, I mean the special button. That's what I mean. Gosh, that has such good knockback. Even like the, you know, the back hit of it is really stinking good. It's easily one of the best recoveries in the game. Not really, I mean, yes, in terms of like distance, like how far it goes. Not really in terms of like vertical recovery, but just how the recovery works, it's insane. It is literally insane, and I love it so much. And so it does 9% for clean and 5% for late. And finally, I'll show it off just very quickly. We have his down special dimensional cape, which, you know what, should I show it off here? Or should I wait till the next match? I think I'll just wait till the next match. But dimensional cape is where Meta Knight, you know, just turns invisible for like a second. You know, as you do. And then he can attack out of it. One big thing about dimensional cape is, you know, when he does turn invisible, he can just like appear out of nowhere. If you do just the regular appear out of the cape without attacking, then he doesn't do any damage with it, but he will like move a good amount away. Like it's good for like getting away or like getting back to the stage or whatever. If you do hold, you know, the attack button when you use the move, then he does a slice, and like it's pretty, you know, pretty powerful. Kind of like this. Yeah, there we go. If you don't do it, he just like teleports away. It's pretty good for just like getting away. You can also control where he goes with the control stick. So that's pretty good. It's pretty stinking good. It's also a good kill move. I think all of Meta Knight's moves are basically all good kill moves. Well, no. His up special and his down special are good kill moves. His neutral special and side special are good for just, you know, attacking and just racking up damage. And also just being safe against like certain characters. Ah, dang, wrong freaking way. That sucks. Apparently, this is pretty crazy from what I'm seeing, but Meta Knight can use this as a recovery move, as I mentioned before, but afterwards he'll become helpless, even if the attack connects. The attack KOs at 163 from the ground. So, sadly, it's not as, you know, powerful as I expected it to be. I thought it had way more knockback. Well, it says from the ground. So if you do it in the air, it's probably like even better. I would assume so, right? I would think. Wario, chill out. Oh, he's dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. And that does 14%. And now finally, while we're fighting Master Hand, I'm gonna just talk about his final smash, Galaxia Darkness. It says a lot about it on the website, but I'm gonna try to like simplify it a little bit. Galaxia Darkness is where Meta Knight swings his cape out directly in front of him. He shouts, "Know my power," or "Behold." You know, it varies. And then if he, you know, if his cape hits the opponent or hits anyone that's near him, then the stage will turn dark, and then after a few seconds, it would just be like a huge like slash that just comes out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure it works kind of similar to Light Arrow, how it does like more damage. It does more damage to the person that was like initially caught in it. It's a little different, but it's kind of similar. It does more damage to the person that's initially caught in it, but it still also hits other players on the screen, all other opponents on the screen. I think it even goes after teammates. I could be very mistaken, but it might also go after teammates, which is pretty interesting. I don't know why it does that, but it does. It literally goes after everyone on the stage, everyone on screen. It's pretty insane. It's a pretty good move, though. I mean, pretty decent recovery, or sorry, final smash. But if it does miss, Meta Knight still, of course, says his, you know, his line. But then, you know, he doesn't do anything. He just kind of like shrugs it off. He's like, "Dang it, I missed." But yeah, that's Galaxia Darkness. It's pretty simple. It is pretty good at like killing. You know, it has pretty high knockback, pretty high damage. But the weaker slash itself, like if you're not the one who, you know, initially got caught in it, then it is possible to actually dodge it with, you know, good timing. But if you are the one that get caught in it initially, then you're gonna get hit no matter what. There's just no escaping it, which kind of sucks, but like, you know, it makes sense. So that does 40% to trapped opponents and 18% for others. Dang, there's so much talk about Meta Knight in this episode that I was not able to even show off his taunts. Well, I guess that's what training mode is for, huh? Training mode is for showing off what I was not able to show off yet. Yeah. Meta Knight is officially Batman. There is no doubt in my mind. Just too much of a similarity. Anyways, that's Meta Knight. That was pretty fun. Pretty enjoyable classic mode run. Excuse me. Actually, I was thinking about, before this episode started, I was thinking about going through classic mode of Meta Knight on a harder difficulty, like maybe very hard. But then I'm like, nah. Then I thought about who I was gonna, you know, play as for like intense, very hard and hard, because I'm gonna obviously show off those difficulties in Classic and in All-Star. So, you know, when the time comes, obviously you'll know who those characters will be. But I had a little bit of planning out done. Maybe I should have done Meta Knight on very hard, just to like, you know, from very hard to be a little bit less of a challenge, so I could get through that a little easier. I mean, if anything, intense is gonna be the only like big challenge. But anyways, before anything, let's show off Meta Knight's taunts. Up taunt, wraps itself in the cape, and just scoffs while kind of like spins around and becomes very thin. He's like a little pretzel roll. Then you got his side taunt. It's kind of hard to, you know, hear with the music playing, but he kind of like swings his sword around and points his sword in front of him while saying "fight me," and then down taunt, spreads his wings and says "come." Very good one. I like that one a lot. That one's probably my favorite. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out Meta Knight's final smash. Okay, before anything, let's actually go through 3 CPUs. Perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for one of them. I'm gonna show off the full potential of it. See, it goes for everyone in order. I don't know what order it is exactly, but all I can say is that it goes for the one that's trapped, that was trapped initially. They will get hit last, and also they will have a lot more damage done to them. One thing I didn't mention about Dimensional Cape, and I think the website may have mentioned it. It didn't? No, it didn't. Okay. It is possible to actually infinitely disappear out of nowhere with Dimensional Cape. It's really hard to do, but from what I remember, this is like based off the class control and game controller. If you press the move and like spam the right control stick a whole bunch, the Meta Knight just like constantly stays in his Dimensional Cape. Okay, he was... Yeah, there we go. Oh my gosh, it's so good. If you do it right, if you do it well enough, if you practice it enough, then Meta Knight... Wait, sorry. Yeah, the Meta Knight just like disappears for quite a while, and you can just like come out of nowhere. It's such like, it's an insane tactic. Apparently, that's like one of his, you know, most notable, I guess, one of the most notable things about him. And that's like one of the biggest reasons why he's banned. You know, there's also other reasons, but you get the point. With that, a lot of talk about Meta Knights. Let's go ahead and actually finally check out his Classic Mode trophy. I know a little bit about Meta Knights, just because I literally play as Meta Knights. So, Meta Knight, the head of the Meta Knights and something of a rival to Kirby. He's quite an accomplished swordsman. Following his code of knightly ethics, he once delivered his sword to Kirby and demanded single combat. His giant cape transforms into wings, giving him the power of flight. He's shown his face briefly before, but his relationship to Kirby is still a mystery. In the games we got our Kirby's Adventure for the NES and Kirby Superstar for the SNES. If you guys haven't seen, you know, Meta Knight without his mask on, just wait until I do, just wait until my next Kirby, I guess, series on the channel, because we'll see. We'll actually kind of see that. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I mean, you guys probably have an idea of, might have an idea of what it could be, because I might have mentioned it before. I don't know. Of that, that'll be it for today's episode of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. A little bit of a longer one for just a single character. That's just because Meta Knight, there's just a lot to talk about when it comes to Meta Knights. Because he's a great character, and he's just so many things to each of his moves, so much detail to each of his moves that it's a lot to go over, and I try my best to, you know, decrease that amount of detail as best as I could, try to like form it into shorter, more simpler explanation. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. In the next episode, we'll be going through classic mode as the final Kirby character and Kirby's main rival, King DDD. So that's gonna be pretty fun. King DDD is pretty good in Brawl. Obviously not as good as, you know, Smash 4 and Ultimate, but still, King DDD is really good in Brawl. He's a really fun character to play. But with that, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Social media, including Twitch, is of course down below in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. Pop-Tart out.